Let's shift to the affinity between Israel and Bolsonaro. So, when I was researching, to be honest, I didn't remember that myself, although I saw it in 2019. Bolsonaro said it in Hebrew, "I love Israel," which was remarkable. That he wanted to express his love for the country in the language of the country. That's not something that we see on a daily basis. How was that perceived? So not only the fact that he made an effort, but the fact that he was able to express in public the love to a country that is not always well seen on the media, in the among the academia. How did the Brazilian public perceive Bolsonaro love story with Israel?
I think that the majority of the Brazilian, we love Israel. We have a lot of Jewish people in Rio Grande do Sul, in São Paulo, a lot of in many places, many different states in Brazil. We normally love the Israeli people, the Hebrew people. Huh? It's normal in Brazil. I don't remember any kind of problem, any kind of racism against the Jewish people. It doesn't exist. I never heard any kind of like I believe there is in the United States, even here in Europe, because the uh, the 30 and the 40s German socialisms, they are only repeating nowadays because normally we think that at that time that mustache man, I'm not going to say his name here, he was really in fact socialist. It was because he started his political life in work syndicatus. The name it was Deutsche Arbeitsfront, Deutsche Arbeitsfront. And then he created a political party, the name with socialists as well. And he created a German coin with the hammer and that socialist symbols. And it was absolutely socialist all the time. And I believe that the socialism nowadays is continuing his work with another flag.
Yeah. And you see a lot of people on the comments saying it's a pity that the mustache man was stopped. And it's incredible how this is not flagged as hate speech. Like you are in bigger trouble nowadays in social media if you call someone fat when they are actually fat. But if you say that the job was not finished in the 30s, in the 40s, then it's okay. No, I don't understand the criteria of social media, to be honest. I think it's all about likes, clicks, revenue, and there are no real ethics. But anyway, that's just my rant about social media. Another stat that I think is very interesting to explore, Artur, is that 25% of the population in Brazil is evangelical. Does that explain the support for Bolsonaro, or there are other factors that helped him to be this loved by the Brazilian people?
I think that Brazil is the most Catholic population, Catholic in the world. We have the evangelic population as well, and we don't have big problems between evangelic or in Catholics or even Orthodox. We don't have in Brazil this religious fighting, this religion argument. There is not in Brazil. I think that we are occupied fighting for soccer.
That's for sure.
That's normally what happened. It does make sense in Brazil, but we don't even fight against the religion. But I believe that the evangelic movement, they have made increased in Brazil. The number of people who became evangelists is because Brazilian army, uh, he uh, he failed. How can I explain that? He was connected. The Brazilian army was connected to the socialist side of the Catholic Church
Hmm.
that pushed the first dictatorial government, the first one in 64, in 1964. It was the same group. It was the central leftists. That's the same group that we have nowadays. That's the same group.
Yeah.
Mm.
Just talking of the churches, actually, that's another interesting fact. If you go to a church in Portugal, and if you see that there are a lot of people there, and you are surprised, most times the majority are Brazilian. They are not Portuguese. At least 50%. So there's always like 50% Brazilian, and 20 to 30%, I don't know, Ukrainian, Romanian, and the odd Portuguese person. And there are Africans as well. I don't know if you noticed that. There are a lot of Africans from Mozambique and Cabo Verde attending the church. But Portuguese, forget about it.
Because the Portuguese they were indoctrinated by the Cravo movement for 50 years, and Marxism is absolutely against Christianity. It's water and oil.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Marco,
No,
in?
I was just going back to what you would the relationship with Israel. I think to a great extent, the evangelical movement has been very supportive of Israel. Many groups come from Brazil, by the way. I think after the United States, I think probably tourism from Brazil is the highest in terms of volume, and of course, I think the evangelicals are the driver in this tourism. Um, but I notice also that Catholics too, they're the ones I've interacted with as a tour guide. They're generally very supportive as well of Israel. Um, I've never, among my tourists, I've never noticed anyone who had a good word to say about Ignacio Lula da Silva. I have to be perfectly honest. Um, I don't know what that means, but certainly there's something strange. Something quite doesn't fit with regards to how he obtained and maintains power. There's something that doesn't quite fit. Put it that way.